Welcome back to Cars Review. Now let me ask you something. What if Jeep just built the truck that finally puts the Toyota Fortuner out of business? Because the 2027 Jeep Meridian is here, and it is not playing around. This thing walks in with the confidence of a vehicle that knows exactly what it is. A body-on-frame, 7-seat SUV that combines Jeep's legendary off-road DNA with the kind of daily usability that American families actually need. And the moment you lay eyes on it, you realize this is not just another mid-size SUV. This is a statement. Let's start with what hits you first in the design. The 2027 Meridian comes in looking sharper, more aggressive, and more premium than anything Jeep has put in this segment before. The front fascia carries that bold 7-slot grille that Jeep fans know and love. But it has been refined. It looks wider, more planted, and more serious. The LED headlights stretch out with a confident horizontal stance, and the hood has these muscular lines, pressed into the sheet metal, that tell you this vehicle means business before you even open the door. The side profile is where the Meridian really starts to separate itself from the competition. It sits tall on the road, with high ground clearance that is immediately visible and a roofline that stays relatively flat, which is great for interior headroom. The rear 3/4 angle is probably the best view of the whole truck. It looks like it was designed to dominate a highway and disappear into a trail on the same afternoon. The wheel arches are wide and pronounced, filling out the body without looking bloated. Jeep has offered this in multiple trim levels for 2027, and depending on the package you choose, you can get everything from 18-inch alloys all the way up to 20-inch machined wheels, with a dark finish that honestly looks incredible against the available body colors. Granite crystal metallic, hydro blue, and a new sting gray, exclusive to the 2027 model year, are the standouts. And the size. Let's talk about it. The Meridian stretches out at over 189 inches in length, giving it a commanding presence on the road. It is not the biggest SUV in the American market, but it is positioned perfectly to compete against everything from the Fortuner to the Ford Everest to the Kia Telluride. Now that you have seen what the 2027 Jeep Meridian looks like from the outside, let's step inside, because this is where Jeep has made the biggest leap forward with this generation. And trust me, it is worth every second of your attention. The moment you open that door, you are greeted with a cabin that feels genuinely premium. Jeep has ditched the budget plastics that held back earlier versions of this SUV and replaced them with soft-touch materials across the dashboard, padded door panels, and contrast stitching that runs through the seats and armrests. It feels like a vehicle that costs significantly more than its price tag suggests. And in a competitive market like this, that matters enormously. The centerpiece of the interior is a massive 10.25-inch touchscreen running Jeep's updated Uconnect 5 infotainment system. This system is fast, intuitive, and loaded. You get wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, over-the-air update capability, and a navigation system that is actually useful in real-world driving. Below the screen, Jeep has kept physical climate control, and that is a decision that American drivers are going to appreciate, because nobody wants to dig through a menu just to adjust the temperature. The front seats are wide, well-bolstered, and available with ventilation and heating on the higher trims. The driver's seat has 10-way power adjustment, and the visibility from behind the wheel is excellent. You sit high, you see far, and the A-pillar is positioned in a way that does not eat into your sight lines the way it does in some competitors. Second row space is genuinely impressive. 3 adults can sit back there without feeling punished for it. Legroom is class competitive, and Jeep has added rear AC vents plus USB-C charging ports for every passenger, something families are going to love on long drives across the country. The third row is where the Meridian gets real about its ambitions. It is not the roomiest third row you will ever sit in, but for a body-on-frame SUV at this price point, it holds its own. Kids and teenagers will be comfortable. Shorter adults can make it work for a reasonable trip. And when you do not need it, it folds flat to open up serious cargo space behind the second row. Cargo capacity with all 3 rows in use sits at around 11 cubic feet. Drop that third row and you jump to over 40 cubic feet. Fold everything flat and you are looking at nearly 78 cubic feet of loading space. That is genuinely versatile, and that is exactly what a family SUV in America needs to be. The 2027 Jeep Meridian is building a very strong case for itself. All right, let's get to the part that Jeep fans have been waiting for. What is actually powering the 2027 Meridian? And can it back up that tough exterior with real performance on and off the road? Under the hood, Jeep has equipped the 2027 Meridian with a 2.0-liter, turbocharged four-cylinder engine producing 200 horsepower and 266 pound-feet of torque. That number might not sound earth-shattering on paper, but the way this engine delivers its power is what matters. The turbo spools up quickly. The torque comes in early in the RPM range, and the 9-speed automatic transmission moves through its gears smoothly and without hesitation, around the city on the highway, and in situations where you need confident passing power. The Meridian handles it without breaking a sweat. For buyers who want more muscle, Jeep is also offering a 2.2-liter turbocharged diesel option on select trims. The diesel makes 197 horsepower but pushes out a massive 369 pound-feet of torque, and that torque advantage becomes immediately obvious when you are towing, hauling a full load of passengers, or climbing a steep grade off the beaten path. The towing capacity on the diesel variant reaches up to 5,000 pounds, which puts it comfortably ahead of several competitors in this class. Now let's talk about what Jeep does better than almost anyone else in the business: off-road capability. The 2027 Meridian rides on a proper, body-on-frame platform with a fully independent front suspension and a 5-link rear suspension setup. Ground clearance comes in at 8.7 inches on the standard models and increases further on the off-road focused trims. Jeep has included a terrain management system with selectable drive modes: auto, snow, sand, and rock, giving the driver real control over how the vehicle distributes power depending on the surface. The approach angle, breakover angle, and departure angle numbers are competitive with the Toyota Fortuner, and in some conditions the Meridian actually has the advantage. Water wading depth is rated at nearly 20 inches, which means river crossings and flooded trails that would stop other SUVs in their tracks are simply not a problem for this truck. On the safety side, the 2027 Meridian comes standard with forward collision warning, automatic emergency braking, rear cross traffic alert, lane keep assist, and adaptive cruise control across all trim levels. Jeep is not making safety a premium option. It is standard equipment, and that is exactly the right call. So here's the bottom line. The 2027 Jeep Meridian is tough, well-equipped, and priced to compete. It brings genuine off-road credibility, a premium interior, and a powertrain lineup that covers both efficiency and raw capability. The Fortuner has had this segment to itself for too long, and that era may finally be coming to an end. If you found this review helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to Cars Review for more content like this every week. We will see you in the next one.